The mechanism of inheritance of traits. The genotype ratio and phenotype ratio of a monohybrid cross. In this lesson, we will learn about genotype and phenotype in a monohybrid cross. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to predict the genotype and phenotype ratios of a monohybrid cross in plants, humans. Monohybrid cross. Traits inherited from the parents are determined by a pair of genes. The genetic constitution of an organism is known as its genotype. Example of genotype: tall pea plant is capital T or capital T small t. The dominant gene capital T will be in control when paired with a recessive gene small t. The physical trait that is visible to us is known as phenotype. Example: tall pea plant. Gene for tall pea plant, capital T, is dominant. Genotypes of tall pea plant are capital T, capital T, capital T, small t. Phenotype is a trait of a tall pea plant. Gene for dwarf pea plant, small t, is recessive. Genotype of dwarf pea plant is small t, small t. Phenotype is also a trait of dwarf pea plant. We will learn further about the mechanism of inheritance and the ratio of genotype and phenotype. Genotype and phenotype. The gene for curly hair, capital C, is dominant. Trait observed is called phenotype. A person with curly hair may have the genotype capital C or small c, small c. The diagram shows monohybrid cross of curly hair trait. The father has a trait of true breed straight hair. The mother has a trait of true breed curly hair. What are the genotypes of the father and mother? The genotype of the father is small c, and the genotype of the mother is capital C, capital C. Predict the genotype ratio of monohybrid offspring of the first filial F1 generation. All the offspring will have curly hair. The genotype is capital C, small c. Ratio of genotype and phenotype. The genotype of the mother is capital C and small c, and this will show the phenotype curly hair. The genotype of the father is small c and small c, which will give the phenotype straight hair. The gametes produced by the parents will be capital C and small c. After fertilization, the monohybrid offspring will have the genotype capital C, small c, and small c, small c. The phenotype of offspring are curly hair and straight hair. Phenotype and genotype. This is what we have learned. Study of one trait in inheritance is called monohybrid cross. Genotype is the pair of genes that will determine traits inherited from the parents. Phenotype is physical trait that is visible. To determine the genotype and phenotype ratio of offspring from monohybrid cross. Monohybrid cross between tall pea plant capital T and dwarf pea plant small t will produce only tall offspring. Monohybrid cross between tall pea plant capital T, small t, and dwarf pea plant, small t, will produce tall and short offspring in the ratio of 1:1. Monohybrid cross. Definition: genotype, phenotype, ratio of genotype and phenotype, study of one trait of inheritance, a pair of genes that will determine traits inherited from the parents, the physical trait that is visible, cross between tall pea plant, capital T, and dwarf pea plant, small t, ratio of genotype 4 capital T, small t, to 0 small t, ratio of phenotype 100% tall to 0% dwarf, cross between tall pea plant, capital T, and dwarf pea plant, small t, ratio of genotype 1 capital T, to 1 small t, ratio of phenotype 50% tall to 50% dwarf.
The ratio of genotype and phenotype. The genotype of one parent is 2 capital T's, and this will show the phenotype of tall pea plant. The genotype of another partner is capital T and small t, which will give the phenotype of tall pea plant. The gametes produced by the parents will be 3 capital T's and 1 small t. Type in the boxes to find out the genotype and phenotype ratio of the offspring from the crossbreed between capital T and capital T small t. Drag and drop the following boxes and type in the genotype and phenotype ratio. The ratio of genotype and phenotype. The genotype of the parent is 1 capital T and 1 small t, and this will show the phenotype of tall pea plant. The gametes produced by the parents will be 2 capital T's and 2 small t's. Type in the boxes to find out the genotype and phenotype ratio of the offspring from the crossbreed between capital T small t and capital T small t. Drag and drop the following boxes and type in the genotype and phenotype ratio. The ratio of genotype and phenotype. The genotype of the parent is 1 capital T and 1 small t, and this will show the phenotype of tall pea plant. The genotype of another partner is 2 small t's, and this will show the phenotype of dwarf pea plant. The gametes produced by the parents will be 1 capital T and 3 small t's. Type in the boxes to find out the genotype and phenotype ratio of the offspring from the crossbreed between capital T, small t, and 2 small t's. Drag and drop the following boxes and type in the genotype and phenotype ratio. The white flower has a recessive trait. It is cross-pollinated with a true breed dominant trait. Which is the percentage of hybrid offspring with dominant traits? A. 0%, B. 25%, C. 75%, D. 100%.
Your answer is correct.
The round pod, capital R, is a dominant trait. The constricted pod has a recessive trait. If the seeds are cross-pollinated, what is the genotype of the offspring? A. Capital R, B. Capital R, small r, C. Capital R, D. Capital R, small r.
Your answer is correct.
The gene for curly hair is represented by capital C, a dominant trait. What is the genotype of the offspring if the mother has true breed curly hair and the father has true breed straight hair? A. Capital C, B. Capital C, small c, C. Capital C, small c, D. Capital C, small c.
That's not right. Please try again. Your answer is correct.
The gene for straight hair is represented by capital C. What is the ratio of genotype of the offspring if the parents have genotype capital C, small c?
Your answer is correct.
The white flower has a recessive trait. What is the ratio of genotype of the offspring if the parent plants have purple flower trait with genotype capital P, small p? A. Purple flower, white flower. B. 1 purple flower, 2 white flower. C. 3 purple flowers, 1 white flower. D. 1 purple flower, 3 white flower.
That's not right. Please try again. Your answer is correct.
Understanding the principles and mechanism of inheritance. A scientist discovered that in every 4 kittens, a kitten with white hair was born from parents that had black hair. The scientist crossed the white cat with another black cat. He found all the kittens born were black. Assume that the white hair trait was controlled by the recessive gene small h. A. What was the genotype of the white cat? B. What was the genotype of the parents? C. Draw the schematic diagram showing the cross between the white cat with a black cat. D. How did the scientist obtain a white cat? Draw the schematic diagram to show the cross. This figure shows the inheritance of curly and straight hair in Dora's family. Curly hair is controlled by the dominant gene, capital C, and straight hair is controlled by the recessive gene, small c. A. Describe the possible ratio of phenotype and genotype of Sarah. B. Explain the answer in A using a schematic diagram.